There's a man who lived over 400 years ago who never lost a single battle. 60 duels, 60 victories, 0 defeats. His name was Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman Japan has ever seen. But here's what nobody tells you. His greatest weapon wasn't his sword, it was his mind. 1 week before his death, Musashi crawled into a cave and wrote 21 principles. He called it dokkodo, the way of walking alone. These principles created a mindset so powerful that nothing could break it. Not fear, not loss, not death itself. Today, I'm going to show you how to forge that same unbreakable mind. But I must warn you, this path isn't for the weak. It demands you to let go of everything you think you need to be happy. Subscribe to this channel and comment which area of your life needs to become unbreakable. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Broken Man. His name was Jonathan. 38 years old, divorced, recently fired from a job he gave 12 years to, living in a small apartment that smelled like regret and instant noodles. 6 months ago, Jonathan had everything. A wife who loved him, a senior position at a respected company, a house with a backyard where his daughter played on weekends. No, he had nothing. His wife left because he was never present. Always chasing the next promotion, always stressed, always somewhere else mentally. His company laid him off during restructuring. 12 years of loyalty erased in a 15-minute meeting. His daughter visited every other weekend, but he could see it in her eyes. She was just waiting for the hours to pass so she could go back to her real home. Jonathan sat on his couch every night asking the same question. How did I end up here? He had followed all the rules, worked hard, provided, sacrificed, and still lost everything. The worst part wasn't the loss, it was the dependency. He realized his entire identity was built on external things. His job title, his marriage status, his house, his reputation. When those things disappeared, he disappeared with them. There was nothing underneath, no foundation, just emptiness. One night, at his lowest point, Jonathan typed something into his phone. How to become mentally strong. He scrolled past motivational quotes and self-help nonsense until he found something different. A video about a samurai who lived alone in the mountains. A man who lost nothing because he attached to nothing. Miyamoto Musashi. That night, Jonathan discovered the Dokkōdō, and everything changed. Chapter 2. The Way of Walking Alone. Musashi wasn't born unbreakable. He was forged through loss. His mother died when he was young. His father abandoned him. By 13, he had killed his first opponent in a duel. By 30, he had defeated the most famous swordsman in Japan, using a wooden sword he carved from an oar. But Musashi's true genius wasn't violence. It was detachment. He understood something most people never grasp. The more you need, the more you can lose. The more you attach, the more you suffer. Freedom comes from wanting nothing. 1 week before his death, Musashi wrote 21 precepts. His final teachings, the distillation of 60 years of combat, meditation, and solitude. He called it Dokkōdō, the path of aloneness. Jonathan read the first precept. Accept everything just the way it is. It's not the way you wish it was. Not the way it should be. The way it is. His divorce, his job loss, his empty apartment. Fighting reality was exhausting him. Accepting it would set him free. The second precept hit harder. Do not seek pleasure for its own sake. Jonathan realized he had spent his entire life chasing pleasure. The next purchase, the next promotion, the next dopamine hit, and each pleasure faded, leaving him emptier than before. Precept 7. Never be jealous. Jonathan thought about how much energy he wasted comparing himself to others. Colleagues who got promoted faster, friends with better marriages, strangers on social media with perfect lives. All that jealousy had poisoned him, changed nothing. Precept 9. Resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. How many hours had he spent blaming his ex-wife, his boss, the economy? Every complaint was a chain keeping him attached to pain he needed to release. The precept that broke him open was number 17. Do not fear death. Musashi wrote this while dying. He wasn't being dramatic. He was stating truth. When you stop fearing the ultimate loss, every smaller loss becomes manageable. What power does a job loss have over a man who has accepted death itself? Chapter 3. The Forging. Jonathan didn't just read the Dokkōdō, he lived it. Every morning he read one precept and applied it throughout the day. Week 1. Accept everything just the way it is. He stopped fighting his reality. Stopped wishing things were different. His apartment was small. Okay. His bank account was shrinking. Okay. His daughter was distant. Okay. Not passive acceptance. Radical acceptance. The foundation for change. Week 2. Do not regret what you have done. He had made mistakes in his marriage. He had prioritized work over family. He couldn't change the past. He could only learn from it. Regret was a prison. He walked out of the cell. Week 3. Be indifferent to where you live. He stopped seeing his small apartment as a symbol of failure. It was just a place. 4 walls. A roof. His worth wasn't determined by his address. His peace wasn't located in square footage. Week 4. Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. He sold half of everything he owned. Clothes he never wore. Electronics he never used. Each item released felt like chains falling off. He was becoming lighter. By month 2, something had shifted. His ex-wife noticed it first. You seem different, calmer, his daughter noticed next. She started asking to extend her weekends. His energy had changed. He was no longer desperate, needy, grasping. He was present, solid, unshakable. Chapter 4. The Unbreakable Mind. 6 months later, Jonathan had rebuilt his life, not back to what it was, into something stronger. He took a job that paid less, but fulfilled more. He moved to a smaller town where life moved slower. His daughter now asked to stay full weeks during summer. But the real transformation was invisible. Nothing external could break him anymore, because he had detached from external things. He could enjoy without needing, appreciate without grasping, love without suffocating. His friend asked him the question everyone eventually asked. How did you change so completely? Jonathan smiled. I stopped walking with the crowd. I started walking alone. Not lonely, alone. There's a difference. Lonely means you need others to feel complete. Alone means you are complete by yourself and choose to share that completeness with others. This is the Dokkōdō. It's the way of walking alone. Musashi wrote it while dying because he wanted future generations to understand the secret. You become unbreakable not by building walls, but by releasing attachments. Not by gaining more, but by needing less. Not by avoiding pain, but by accepting everything exactly as it is. So here's my question for you. What are you attached to that's making you breakable? What would happen if you let it go? Comment below. Make it public. Begin your own Dokkōdō. If this video awakens something in you, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear this. The path is waiting, but you must walk it alone.